Welcome back to episode 291 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with Grizz, and we got some fucked up shit to talk about today. Yo, that is quite the intro theme to a movie.
That fucking song, dude. Me and you've been obsessed with that song all week.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
We've been talking about it.
I cannot get it out of my head. But if you're not watching and you are listening currently, we are covering All Night Long from 1992, a Japanese, it's a horror film, obviously. This is like a revenge slasher kind of. I don't even know what the fuck this would really be considered. It's obviously a revenge film, right?
That's kind of like a crime movie too, in a way. Like, it's got a lot of different elements to it, man. And I gotta make a confession here right off the jump. You know, I didn't expect this to happen. You know, this was fucking blindsided. But dude, I fell in love this week. Bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. I
fell in love with fucking Japanese filmmaking. And like, it's really centered around what this fucking movie brought to the table this week. You guys haven't seen this. You're in for a fucking treat. I wish I haven't seen this yet so I could go back and experience this movie for the first time again.
Yeah, this is like a scary movie deal, right? For a lot of people, this will be a scary movie deal. I want to say what's up to the chat. Steven, did we ever figure out how to say his fucking last name?
Meese? Misi? He'll tell us again.
Yeah. Sorry, Anonymous, Gloomy Vampire, Alan Cantation, Jane Doe from Aruba. Ooh. Wow, it is. There's snow outside my window right now, so it's a quite different climate. Out there. And Alexander Odell, what's up? Coming of age horror. Yeah. If you're coming into an age of psychopathy and murder, I would definitely agree with that. So, Grizz. This is Misi. There we go. All right. We'll remember that this time. We'll remember that.
You see that. So yeah. I got you, bro.
So, as per usual, this is a movie that was released in Japan. Didn't really get a release over here for a while. You can find the original Japanese VHS, which I have here. As you could see from the cover, they were definitely going for shock value on the packaging and the back. If you can't, let's see if I can get this kind of in focus, equally as brutal. But this movie,
I love it. Don't hold back. That's awesome. Like, show that shit on the cover, dude. If I'm walking through a Japanese video store, that's the winner right there, baby.
Yo, man, that's one thing with a lot of these movies is that the covers are just fucking wild. They did not care. In America, you had them putting a fucking sticker over the middle finger on Bad Taste and shit that. Like, so dumb. Then you see things like this, and it's just, that's
and quite I am kind of like a 50-50 on it, man, because as much as I do love that, there is something to be said about like a great original piece of artwork as a cover photo, or as like the cover of a VHS and stuff. So but there's also a lot of really bad ones, like you just mentioned too. So sometimes it's better just to put some killer fucking shots,
literally,
from the movie that they're gonna sell it, because like I just said, you see that walking down the aisle, you're gonna stop and take a look no matter what.
I want to know, like, if you were a kid in Japan in like the mid 90s and you're going to the video store, is this movie just like out there with Friday the 13th and shit? Like, is this just sitting there, or is this like with, yeah, or is this like in like the adult section?
I imagine it would be, man. Like, I mean, me and you have like really dove into this whole series kind of a little bit this week after we watched this one. Yeah, like, we gotta get into them.
Inspired.
But as we went along, we kind of realized that like the sexual nature of the films do go up quite a bit the deeper you get into the series. So like with that being said, I don't see like the later ones, you know, maybe being next to Friday the 13th and stuff like that. But we discussed this too. This is a 35 millimeter film. This is something they put some money into. So I think this was like a bigger deal than just being like a, you know, under the radar film in Japan at the time.
Yeah, so as you said before, we got into this series a little bit more because we figured we should probably, you know, have a little bit of a background on everything. We watched part 2, part 3. We didn't watch 4 and 5. There might be a 6. I'm not too sure. But really the main ones in the series are 1, 2, and 3. It goes
on quite a bit. There's even more than that. So.
And like the whole like psychosexual thing does, of course, go up as the series gets into the 90s and into I guess the early 2000s. But part 2 is very interesting. Similar setup. You always have this like, actually all of them, you have this like down and out nerdy guy or whatever. Like they always make him look so pathetic and everything. And of course they have this like deep down hidden killer, you know, urge or whatnot, or they're, you know, just some sort of sexual deviant or whatnot. Point. Yeah. The second one is kind of cool because it's the leader of the gang is interested in this like fucking nerdy dude. So they have that like, oh, like the guy on guy action. You don't see that too often. Right. And it's like, it's played very interesting. Like it's not as amazing. Yeah, it's not as dumb as you think it is. It's really cool. There's a lot of like really fucking like just cringeworthy shit, and not like cringe like embarrassment, just like like makes your skin crawl, you know. And that's your favorite, right?
Wild in those movies, you know. It really, and as the series does go, as much as it does take on more of like a perverse nature and like, you know, more sexual content, the movies don't like fall off as far as like story goes from what I've watched so far. 3 being the most like, I guess, like, you know, deviant one, I guess you could say, or whatever.
Yeah, which but I like that one. I like that whole like.
I did not like it. I just think, you know, these first 2 are so fucking good, man. Like the stories are so, like, these legitimately have amazing stories behind them. And the third one has a good story, but it's I don't know, like it's just a little bit too different from what I expected, because these first 2 are very similar. Their stories have like a similar kind of play to them, whereas the third one kind of branches off, and it's a good story, but it's just its own unique thing. It almost made me feel like it wasn't intended to be an all night long, and then it got hit with that like name tag to maybe try to sell it a little bit.
Yeah, to me, I get the same feeling when I watch part 3 as I do when I watch something like Maniac, you know, where it's like this like, you know, sweaty, greasy fucking just skin crawling character that you're following throughout the whole movie, and you know nobody's really good in the movie. You know what I mean? Like everybody, and actually, really all these movies, right? Like there's the only people that
there's no heroes.
There really pretty much everybody who survives is not really a good person, and the only people that are good are usually victims, right? Like that's how. I mean,
and even as the stories progress, like the people who are like inconsequential throughout the story are just pieces of shit also. Like there really is like there's zero fucking heroes in these movies to really look at and be like, oh, like this is the example of what, you know, you should be like in this society or anything like that. It's all like it's all skeevy fucking characters through and through.
Yeah, it's like a funny trend in this movie that it's almost like the violence transfers between people. Like it's infectious. Like once people get a taste or experience it, they like it like unlocks this thing in them. Because you have rather normal people throughout this whole film that turn into fucking just maniacs at the end. And like all of them.
Oh, complete.
Worse than the people that are actually bad. Like they turn into worse, you know, bigger monsters than that, that group, the gang that you encounter throughout the movie.
And I think that's what makes this first one for me like just the most endearing, is that like you see a pathetic character go from, pathetic to scared to, triumphant to being like humbled, and then like a complete monster at the end. It's this like wild fucking ride it's packaged in this amazing story, and they do a great job of like keeping you invested in what's going on this whole time. What is this, like an hour 20 hour?
Yeah, it's
30
pretty
maybe?
short. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
But it's good. It doesn't feel like it drags. There's always shit going
not
on.
At all.
There's always something fucked up going on.
Odell, the tampon collector in the third one is so good. Yeah, dude, that dude is fucking weird, bro. For sure.
Looking through the little vent and shit, and the fucking
dude, wild.
But this movie basically is about a group of, well, they're not even a group of friends yet. 3 high school-ish age people that just so happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. They experience a murder in broad daylight, and they basically form a bond from that. And, pretty much the worst couple days of their life ensue. Right? Like this is one of those movies where it's like, just when you think shit can't get like any worse, it does. And just when you think like somebody wouldn't do that thing, they do it. And it's like really, I'm not going to say realistic, but like probably pretty realistic. You know what I mean? Like
nothing seems far-fetched. I can say that.
Yes.
There's nothing in this movie that's like, this wouldn't fucking happen. Like, why would they do that? Like everything is pretty playable as far as like how I'd imagine this would go down, man.
Yeah. People are definitely fucked up. You could see why somebody would be out for revenge. I really do like the 3 main characters. They're all about, I think, 17 to 19 or something like that.
I'd say in that age range.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shinji, 17, Kensuke, 19, and Tetsuya is 18. Yeah. So like they're all around high school, college age. The one dude is in like a, what would you call that? Like a vocational school, right? He's going to go for a job interview to be an airplane mechanic. He goes on that. Then there's like this other dude that's still obviously in high school, and he's supposed to be going to college. He's like a nerd. He's a bookworm. And then there's the other guy. He's like the rich kid. It seems like
cool,
right?
With the foreign car.
Dude, that house that he has is fucking sick.
Oh yeah,
it's
awesome.
Got like that traditional Japanese like outer gate fence, right? But like the inside looks all, I guess for the time, like all new and shit.
Modern.
Yeah. And he's probably originally out of the 3, the one like that is kind of the ringleader of the sickness. He's the first one that starts showing like these fucking tendencies to be, kind of off. And it's really pretty cool because he, I guess, kind of like walks the line, you know what I mean? Until the very end where like they go and confront the gang, and then he's like, holy shit, like, okay, yeah, we're doing this. And then once they get in there,
you're in.
He loves it once they go in. Yeah. But like all these characters are super, average kids, teenagers, young adults or whatever, just going about their lives. And, they
heavily affected by a traumatic experience, man.
Yeah.
And it really does. Why don't we play this, this train murder that these 3 amigos end up experiencing together, which really sets off this bond that unfolds.
Yeah. This is the event that lights the fuse to everything that goes on. So they're waiting at the train station. This guy's asking the girl for directions, and he just pulls out a knife and just starts stabbing. And it is brutal. They're both wearing white too. Like he's got a white.
I was just gonna say the white helps so much.
Yeah, and like he's stabbing her in the back. He's got this crazed look on his face.
So they get blood on the camera here at one point, and I just absolutely fucking love it.
That's something that they tend to do in these Japanese movies, that they let the blood hit the camera and they don't stop or anything. Like they just let it roll.
Great.
Yeah, it's almost like it adds that like extra immersion into it. And the cool thing about that scene too is that the train fucking noise, the ding 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 ding, is going on throughout the whole thing. And it's pretty cool because it's one of those like wrong place at the wrong time, the butterfly effect type thing where the one guy missed the train, so he had to walk and he ended up there. You know what I mean? Like the other dude, like, you know, he's on the motorcycle and shit. Like you just stopped at the train. You know, if you were maybe a minute faster, you wouldn't have been involved with any of this shit. But
so I love how like it shows later that they're all fucking wasted. And the dude's like driving this car around completely shit faced. And they're talking about like, we gotta fucking, you know, we're gonna make things way better for ourselves. It was like pretty much the plan, right? Like we gotta get girls and like this and that.
Well, the whole thing was like after the whole, you know, murder and stuff, they meet up at the guy's house and they're like, you know, let's try to get our minds off all this shit. Like, this is fucking terrible. Let's have a party or something. You know, in like bring your girlfriends, like bring a girl. Yeah. The only problem is none of them had girls. But
nobody wants to admit it though either. It's all like, yeah, of course we'll bring our girlfriends to the party.
Yeah. So the one dude that's like he's the nerd. He's let me get his name so we can actually attempt to say it throughout this whole thing. That's Tetsuya. Yeah, Tetsuya's
Which one is it?
Tetsuya. Okay. Yeah, with the glasses and everything. He asks this dude to kind of help him out. Right, he's like a bully, I guess, in the school, the big oaf that like I thought was the guy in the gang, but it's a separate guy.
Different guy, but kind of a weird character too. Like how I was saying, there's no like real good guys in this movie. Like even this dude that's like, you know, kind of cheating off him at one point. Like he's supposed, like you said, he's kind of like just a piece of shit, and like he also is like very braggadocious about like all the girls that he's able to get and stuff like that. Wait till you see this guy.
Meanwhile, he's like a fucking slob and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right? He's like
complete fucking pig, dude.
He's getting crumbs everywhere and shit. But he sets our man up with a girl, but little does Tetsuya know that they have an ulterior motive and they're actually kind of pulling a prank on him. They're going to fuck with him. And he's just, you see what kind of guy he is. So basically he's talking to this girl saying, I know you guys are like dating and you're plotting something against me, but you know, I could deal with that. I just want to be next to you for a little bit. So he's like pathetic, but he starts fucking making this weird jerking motion. I thought he was fucking gooing in his pants, but he ended up puking on her lap and she slaps him with the book. Now, a good thing I like that they do is he pukes again at the end.
Yeah, they keep it going.
Yeah, like he's in the background. He's like in the back and you just see him puke onto the fucking table. I love it.
So, and this also comes after like a whole day of him like trying to find this girlfriend that he has to take. And really his last ditch effort was to go to that bully dude and be like, all right, you know, whatever, like, you know, I'll buy one, whatever it takes. I need a girlfriend for a few hours for this party. And that's the girl that he set up with. And even a situation that he's going to potentially pay for or he's set up for, his nerves are just shot. He cannot be around a female for any length of time without just being extremely nervous and getting sick. So that's just kind of like, he's just so like, you know, socially weird kind of in a way and just has a hard time interacting. It just gives you a great understanding of like how timid this character is. And to see like what this guy goes through is so fucking wild.
Yeah, and he is pretty unsuccessful with his, I guess, quest for a female companion.
No.
The other guy, how do you say his name? Shinji? I don't know. But he actually is like kind of fucked up. He cuts a girl's bike chain that he's like, I guess his crush, cuts her fucking bike chain. And then like just happens.
Sabotage.
Yeah, it just happens upon her. Oh, I can help you out. I'll be right back. And they hit it off, right? Like they actually like
as much of a creepy move that it was. They did genuinely like each other. Out of all three of the dudes, this was the only one who legitimately had a shot of being like, this is my fucking girlfriend.
Yeah, and the third gentleman, Kensuke, like pulls a fucking, I don't even know what you want to call that. Just like pulls his car in front of a girl that's backing up and just like gives her like the look because he's in this nice car and everything. And he ends up meeting this chick and she is quite the handful. She's kind of fucked up, right?
Dude, what? So like what happens to this dude? What blew me the fuck away? I didn't see it coming. Like I thought, she's in the car with him and like she's like super sexual, like coming on to him and stuff, but also being kind of like, I don't know, like cold at the same time, like back and forth.
She's playing games with him, yeah.
Yeah, definitely playing games, but also talking about how like, money talks and all this stuff. And, but eventually we find out that she has ulterior plans as well. And like she fucking like handcuffs this dude to the fence.
Yeah, yeah.
And like strips him fucking basically naked and like just takes his shit and fucking bounces. And I was like, dude, what a fucking, like you said, these are like horrible days.
Yeah.
That are happening. Obviously, those like the nerdy dude puking on the girl after a bad day of striking out. This dude getting stripped naked and chained to a fence.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad days, right? What happens to our other dude though is truly a fucking bad day, dude. This is brutal.
He's out on a date with this girl. They're out, and the gang that he saw earlier basically fucking attacks them and sexually assaults her, beats the fuck out of him. But while they're like doing terrible stuff to her, they do one of the most cringe-worthy fucking acts you can ever do. And you know what? Let's just roll it. So they're holding her down, and a dude pulls out a pair of scissors and decides, I'm going to snip her Achilles tendon.
God.
And you see, oh my God.
That sound they put in there.
Yeah, you start seeing like the blood just freaking pouring out. It's like literally pouring out. That's something that's a big thing in this movie. It's like they just, like the blood gushes. Like here's the song too. With the people laughing like fucking ghouls. And she's actually murdered, right? She's dead.
Oh yeah, done for, dude.
Yeah. And this is like... This is like that is such a rough scene. Yeah, this is like the next step in the evolution of this like three guy group where like they're going to the next level now. They're gonna get fucking crazy. But this whole scene is like so fucked up because it is something that could happen to you. You know what I mean? Like, and you're overpowered by there's 5 guys there against you. Like, what the fuck are you? You can't do anything.
Oh my God.
Brutal, fucking brutal.
Definitely, like I said, he has the worst day by far out of the fucking 3 of them, but they're all in their own ways have had like, days that would really, obviously you've just seen this person murdered. That's going to fuck with you to begin with. And then it's followed up by like 3 horrible fucking days in their own different ways. It really is like this ultimate kind of like, unfortunate bonding thing for the 3 of them, but it also puts them in such like a volatile state.
It wrecks them to mentally, like completely destroys these guys.
To watch them like have that bond through violence is pretty fucking gnarly. And to me, this is where we're like, all right, this movie is about to like really show you like its true face. Man.
This is it. Yeah. It's funny because like, after a certain point, like it's cathartic, how they get their revenge, but then it like goes another.
It turns, bro. It turns hard on you.
Yeah. So now that this terrible fucking thing happened, our guy wants fucking revenge. So he goes to Kensuke's house, who's been playing with a shotgun throughout the whole movie. And yeah. And he's got the gun there, and our buddy goes over and he's like, I need the gun. We're going to go get fucking revenge. I want to kill these motherfuckers. And they are all in a fucking state right now, right? They're all fucking freaking out. They all had something happen to them that was fucked up. But they end up wrestling for the gun. And
classic mistake.
That is a mistake. So they're fighting for the gun. Let me have it. Let me have it. Let it go. Give it to me. They're wrestling for it. And like once it cuts to this next shot, you see fucking, yeah, the third friend is sitting across from them on the couch. And
that sound he makes, dude, got me every time I watch it.
They shoot their friend accidentally, but
That's Tetsui, right? That's the dude, right?
Yeah. Lucky for him, it's a blank. We see earlier in the movie, our man takes the fucking buckshot out of the shell. So,
and to me, that's an important note that it's an actual. He's like, oh, we're really lucky it was a blank that we used in there. Otherwise,
he's like laughing. He thinks it's like,
oh yeah, they think it's fucking funny as fuck.
So he's really
Tetsui, not so much. He doesn't think it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
But that plays a role here coming up in the next scenes that we're going to be showing, in my opinion. So, I mean, this really, I think after the almost near-death experience of their friend as well, I feel like that's the true boiling point. Like they just almost basically stare death in the face. Let's go get fucking revenge. It's really just based around the murdered girlfriend at this point is really the true subject of revenge.
Yeah, well, right now, this is where like an American movie would have some sort of montage of them like gearing up, getting ready and everything. But not in this fucking movie. But they do, however, like pretty much gather all the sharp objects in the house or things that they can use as weapons, right? And they're going to head to this gang's clubhouse and take care of business. All right,
but how they knew where it was too. It was dope. They just went to the clubhouse.
Well, they must be well known in the area, man. But the guy also,
they probably are.
The guy also did like see them like by that dump area, so maybe he knew like that's where they hung out and shit.
That'd be around.
But when our three fucking dudes show up, the one guy's wearing like a trench coat and sunglasses. The other guy's wearing like a Phantom of the Opera mask. Right? With
like the nerdy kids wearing the Phantom mask. It's so fun.
With like a fucking drug rug or whatever the hell you had on. Like a fleece you would wear if you're out in like Sonoma or something like that.
Yeah, you're going to see fucking Dead in 95. He's got that fucking jacket.
Hell yeah. But this is where shit starts getting real because they go in and they're basically like, no, we're going to fuck you up. Like, that's it, man. Like, everybody over here. And the clubhouse puts off a vibe too, right? They have the huge fucking, like, the swastika flag. They have all these movie posters and shit. I think I saw a Terminator 2 poster, which was kind of...
I think you did see it too, because I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it.
Right? What the fuck is with that? Like, I love when you see, like, these...
It's a hodgepodge. It really is a weird shit. But it makes sense. It's like in a junkyard type fucking area, so, like...
It's like a warehouse almost, right?
And they really just collected everything around them that they thought was, unique. And what I love about this, though, is that this allows for this amazing set for the next, few scenes that we're going to go through. This clubhouse has the best lighting for these scenes.
For sure.
It has like cool blues and like pinks in the background and stuff. It makes every one of these scenes so fucking epic, in my opinion, man.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. And it's pretty funny because like it seems like we're at the end of the movie, but really like there's like 35, 40 minutes left of the movie that just takes place. Maybe not 40, but like a good half hour of the movie is in this fucking clubhouse or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah. So when they first get in, they have quote unquote blanks in the gun, or at least they think that there's blanks in the gun.
Well, that's that's what they think. That's what Tetsui thinks. That's what they told him in order for the little nerdy kid to go through with it. He's like, all right, they're blanks. We're just going in there to scare them, basically.
Yeah. So like they're fucking them up. And one of the guys is reaching for something on the table and they go, but look behind you. And this is where shit gets fucking wild. Beating the fuck out of the guys. Yeah, you hear him laughing. He's having fun fucking getting his revenge. There's something about like the violence going on with this music playing. This dude dressed like...
Oh, so good.
Yeah, he turns around and he just lets go and just fucking...
This part.
He shoots the losing motherfucker. Yeah. What a look.
Dude, there's something about that scene right there that's so fucking great.
With the Phantom of the Opera mask on and everything.
Yeah, it looks so good, man.
Also, they had a head in that fish tank. Yeah. They had a human head in that fish tank. They did it before the governor did it in The Walking Dead. But it turns out the dude had like a dildo in his hand or something though, right? Like that's what he grabbed off the table.
That little like vibrator fucking dick thing that he's pulling.
But it's such a cool looking thing when he shoots him and you see the bullet hole in the head. It looks like when the zombies get shot, when Ted Danson gets shot in Creepshow, like how like the fucking stuff comes out. Man, and this is when you see like, there's no going back now. Like this is fucking, it's all or nothing now.
What we get from here is like this back and forth kind of thing, because like there's a point in here where they let their guard down. These three guys that came to fucking, take care of business. They let their guard down for a minute, and the remaining dudes get the upper hand.
Yeah, it's the gang leader and like the chubby dude that's like been laughing like the Joker throughout the whole thing.
He was so annoying. I'm glad he gets fucking whacked in this scene, dude.
So when our man comes back in, because he had to chase somebody down that was trying to escape, shot him in the back, killed him dead like a coward. But hey, man, you had to do it at this point. Yeah, no fucking witnesses.
Maybe that's right.
Yeah, but when he comes back in and he sees the situation, he starts thinking to himself, I've only known these guys for a few fucking days. Fuck them. Hurry up and drop it. They want him to drop the gun. This motherfucker's got a stone cold face on right now.
Fucking pops his ass.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Shoots him right in the stomach. But when he shoots him, yeah, dude, when he shoots him, fucking Kensuke gets his fucking neck cut. And he just starts bleeding out. He has like a vision earlier in the movie also of himself being killed. And he's getting killed, all right. But I really like when you see him like dead, because it's not like in the movies like where they'll do like, oh, he's like, he's got like the face on with the X's on his fucking eyes. He looks like he's still alive. He's freshly dead.
Yeah.
And he's just leaning against the table like with his eyes kind of open. And it's like, you see all these other dead bodies around him. There's blood everywhere. Yeah. And we see that there's only... Oh, please.
I was going to say, if you paid attention there at the end of that scene, you noticed that there was a female that popped up. And this is a girl that's been basically hiding in the back bathroom area and her like little bedroom area.
Yeah, she was all like drugged up or something, right? Like she
was fucking high as a kite in the first fucking scene that we saw. She was out of it, baby.
But there's only the gang leader left. And our man fucking dispatches him in a very cold way.
Something about this, dude.
Yeah. So he's got the hockey stick, and he just starts fucking hitting him in the head slowly. And like the way it's shot in like a reflection of a clock too.
Something, yeah. I thought that. I was like, "What is, dude? This scene is so weird with the clock."
He's humming.
It almost sounds like a fucking like a minute hand or something flipping around, like a second hand.
Yeah. It's like singing to himself, like no emotion on his face, completely dead. That's
beating the shit out of something. Dude, I mean, that goes on for another like 30 seconds.
It just keeps going, yeah.
It's a while.
So they realize that there's another girl, like we said, an associate of the gang, and our man just fucking, he loses.
This is where he takes the heel turn, man.
This is a really fucked up heel turn, because first he starts pretty much sexually assaulting her, right? And then this guy's not leaving anybody alive in this place.
We don't know what her role is in any of this. Technically, all we know, she's an innocent.
They had no interaction before this. I was trying to see if this was the girl that fucking stood up our dude and like robbed him, but it wasn't. It's a completely different person.
Not the girl, yeah.
So he starts fucking strangling her with this, some sort of decoration, like a netting of some sort. Yeah. This theme plays sometimes too. Creepy, dude.
Back in the box. Now, if you look carefully behind our man here, you're gonna see our fucking deadhead homie in the jacket pop up.
Yeah.
EK's favorite jacket.
Shoots him in the back. He knows it's fucked up. He knows that that's not supposed to be happening.
So obviously, this is the wild part. Obviously,
triple heel
he's killed
turn.
somebody. Right, he's killed somebody. He felt fucked up about it. You could tell.
Yeah. This kill was justified. This was justified.
Right. This kill was 100% justified. He was doing the right thing in this situation to save somebody. So in all fucking fairness right now, our man's fucking technically had no ill will besides maybe trusting the wrong people going into it.
He's probably as quote unquote clean as you could be
Right.
at this point. But things obviously don't stay that way because we wouldn't be saying this movie's extremely fucked up. So she gets up and she doesn't really know what's going on. The fuck does she know who these guys are? All she knows is that they just came in and killed everybody in the gang, which is kind of funny because there's a human head in the fish tank. So apparently people have been killed here before. Like,
right. And she even mentions that like they don't kill anybody. And I'm thinking, one of the fucking body parts, like
they literally,
like
they just killed a girl, like literally, 2 days ago or whatever.
Yeah,
But our fucking man Tetsuya got stabbed in the leg before.
Hoodwinked, dude.
Yeah, and she gets the gun and she just fucking, obviously she thinks this guy is a predator of some sort and a stone cold killer. But
I mean, the dude did just save her life. I mean, it's got to count for something.
Bad people do good things, man.
That's fair.
But this is like one of those things where it just gets like not worse and worse, but like it's torturous, right? This is almost like torturous.
So this is my favorite scene in this movie, by far. I absolutely love everything about this scene. The way her intensity is, the way that it looks, the when they pan out of like when she's attacking the dude with the gun, like everything about the way this scene looks is fucking awesome, man. This is perfect in my opinion.
So she's pointing the gun, she pulls the trigger, nothing in there, it's empty, and she's getting frantic. She looks fucked up too.
Let's do something.
Yeah. So she starts whacking the wound on his fucking leg.
That look is just the lighting, everything about it. I absolutely fucking
She's stomping on it. You know what I think? You're going to spend the rest of your life in jail.
Baby.
Yeah.
So that's her plan. She's like, all right, I'm not going to, obviously I can't kill this dude. She wanted to. She tried to pull the trigger.
Can't do it.
Now she's got to fucking go call the fucking po-po.
Yeah, but unfortunately for her,
bitches get stitches, baby.
If she would have if she would have just left, she might have been all right. But unfortunately, she said this to him, and he goes, "Jail, get arrested." Like he realizes, like, oh shit, like this is gonna look bad if she's the one that goes to the cops. So unfortunately for her, and like many other movies, her end is met in a phone booth. So she's on the phone, she's trying to make a call, and you see the blue car in the background. And Tetsuya's behind. Yeah, he looks like Harry Potter a little bit with those glasses.
Oh, he's about to cast a fucking wicked spell on this bitch.
Yeah, he's about to fucking ride that, what the hell's what's the broom, bro?
Yeah, he's 2000 that ass.
Yeah, the Nimbus, bro. So he's riding that thing. Flooring the car.
Look how awesome that fucking shot is.
Yeah,
that is great.
He floors the car into the phone booth, alluding to killing her and basically leaving nobody left to say anything different. They don't even know he's there. He wasn't even there,
I want to get the fucking image of that girl screaming tattooed on me so fucking bad. Now, I love this fucking movie.
Well,
like this is a big fucking deal for me.
That's not the end, because there's probably one of my favorite scenes, and I want to get this image tattooed on me, when they show like a busy street like in Japan and all these people walking, and you just see somebody stop and like look towards the camera, and it's our man Tetsuya, and he's got like business clothes on and shit, and he's just got
clear umbrella.
He's just got like this fucking look on his face, like he's a psychopath now or whatnot. And that's the end of the movie, and I absolutely fucking love this one. This was great.
Very Hannibal Lecter ending, just like got away with the perfect crime. He's on the run, not on the run, but just because no one's even after him. He's just
nobody knows he was there, man. Yeah.
Normal life, man. Just a fucking an enigma.
What a fucking movie. This is one of those movies where you just say like wrong place at the wrong time. And if you just did something different that day, everything would have fucking turned out differently. And maybe, you wouldn't even have met these guys. You wouldn't have seen the murder. You wouldn't have gotten killed. You wouldn't have been whatever. One thing we didn't mention is, though, on his way back, they show the dead body of the bully from the school. So
oh yeah, that dude did get fucked up.
Yeah, he kills the bully also, and he's got like a donut or something in his mouth, but he's like, "Oh,
his fat mouth." Yeah, it was fucking funny.
Man, it's one of those things where like, I guess it's like a good ending, but it's not in a way. You know what I mean? Like he's not truly bad. Well, like he's truly bad. He's an evil person, but like he killed the bully. He killed somebody that was hanging with this fucking gang that was killing and raping people. Like, you know.
And if our theories about part 3 are true,
yeah,
then we find out more about this motherfucker.
Yeah, if somebody that's pretty familiar with this series, or is more familiar at least, is Tetsuya supposed to be the guy in the junkyard that helps bury the bodies in the third movie, that throws them in the fire with him? I want to know.
I thought we both thought it was.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to verify that.
Yeah. But All Night Long from 1992 is fucking 1,000% a Bad Taste Video Hall of Famer, right? This was a game changer.
No question. Yeah.
You gonna buy
this made me fall in love with Japanese fucking movies, dude. I'm so invested in like just fucking indulging in as much of these movies as I can right now.
I remember way back when we said like, hey, like, if you know any like low budget shot on video fucked up like shit from over there, like let us know. And look where we are now. We're going down the rabbit hole.
And what I'm realizing, it doesn't even got to be fucking that low budget shot on video type of stuff to get wild fucking movies like we just saw there. I mean, that's a 35 millimeter film we just saw, and it's chock full of the fucking gore and everything else you'd want. From a movie.
And I'm sure we'll be covering the other ones. I'm sure we'll do part 2. I think we're definitely going to do part 2 eventually. Yeah. But we are going to be continuing our Japanese month with 2 movies next week. One is 36 minutes long. The other is a short that is 22 minutes long. So we thought we'd condense them into one episode. The more, I guess, movie of the 2 is going to be Biotherapy from 1986. This movie is a wild, it's not really a supernatural slasher. It's more of a sci-fi slasher, to tell you the truth. But the kills are fucking ridiculous in this movie. You're going to love it, Chris. I'm telling you, you're going to like this movie.
Oh, yeah. From what you already told me, I think I'm going to dig it.
Tons of wild shit. It's brutal. And the second movie we're going to do,
my choice,
Grizz's choice for next week, is Kotori Tachi no Inai Hanazono, aka A Garden Without Birds. Six friends arrange a kinky party at the top of a luxury hotel where a dominatrix and her gimp wait for the guests. Yeah. Once they start using drugs to spice things up, the party takes a bloody turn.
I mean, that's fucking got my name written all over it. So that was a must.
So
I'll take the clips that I can from that one.
We'll see what we can do with that. That's going to be a 2-for-1. Biotherapy's wild. You can actually watch that on YouTube. That's out there. This one is on. I think that was on Effed Up Movies. Right. Actually, most of these movies are going to be on Effed Up Movies, to tell you the truth. I think actually All Night Long was on YouTube too, but the Internet Archive also exists, so you could go on there. That's a good spot for that stuff. I think they had some of the guinea pig stuff too, but I don't know if it had subtitles. It might have just been the straight,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the problem when you buy like the originals, is that they were made for the Japanese market, so no English and no subs. It's straight Japanese, but it looks fucking great. So take the it's whatever. But Grizz, it's time for the wide world of metal, man. And what do we have this week?
I'm covering a little bit more of I don't know how, more well known than something I would usually try to go for, but I've been absolutely fucking obsessed with this band, and I absolutely love them. Everything that I listen to from them, all the new releases they put out, I'm super fucking impressed with. The band is called Brat, simple BRAT, 4-piece. I love that setup, man. Fucking guitar, bass, drummer, sick fucking lead person. If you're not fucking playing an instrument and you're doing vocals, you better be fucking good, man. Like, you better be entertaining, in my opinion. And this band checks all those boxes. They just put out a brand new single, Hesitation Wound. And this video, all their videos are fucking great, but this one is really fucking cool. Kind of set in like a malt or old coffee shop or something like that. What do you think of this band at all, man? Have you listened to other tracks besides? I think I've sent you some stuff before in the past, actually.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me of like shit that I listened to like back in like high school and college and shit, like more like a hardcore influenced metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like where it's got that like
hardcore influenced for sure.
Yeah, it's got like that like fucking makes you want to mosh type shit, which I was surprised that you were into this because you're not really into that sort of stuff.
You know, bro, I gotta tell you something. I'm slowly coming around to like, okay, so like there's hardcore that I'm actually really getting into, right? But there's a lot of hardcore that I really fucking can't get into, which I think is fair with like any subgenre of music. You're gonna find things you like and dislike.
Yeah.
But you know, things like this, like bands like Drain, the fucking dudes in Dead Heat and shit, that stuff. It fucking rules. It's definitely more on like the crossover aspect of things that I like a little bit more. But then you get like stuff like that, like fucking Knocked Loose and all that shit, dude. I can't fucking that fucking.
You just not like you don't like straight mosh metal. You're not into like straight, you know.
And it's a lot to do with the vocal delivery too. You know, I don't like that like old Madball style fucking vocal delivery or that fucking like the Hatebreed fucking talky fucking you know. Bullshit. Yeah. I get to sound a little bit more metal, but I am coming around quite a bit to fucking hardcore. Yeah. So I'm not a total fucking loser, guy.
So let's roll this first clip so people get an idea of what the fuck we're talking about.
It's so good.
I wish I had hair like that dude. Jackson, nice.
Yeah, shit.
Looks like your guitar. Is that your guitar?
I believe it's. I think it's the same model, just not the crackle. She's a beast too, dude. She fucking kicks ass on vocals.
See, like this is shit that like I would have been all over this. Like I don't really go to shows anymore. I'm fucking too old. I fucking hurt myself getting up in the morning. But
well, like from what I've heard of your old band, your old Dealers band and stuff, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like what you guys were like doing with that band in a way.
Yeah, where it's more of like a metallic hardcore.
Yeah.
You have like heavy parts that are like breakdowns, but not really like chuggy breakdowns, more just like heavy riffs. Where like if you were a fan of like, you know, certain like 90s hardcore bands or whatever, like that was the shit that they were really doing instead of just dun 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 dun.
Yeah, that's like the dude.
There's something about writing like a super heavy fucking like Cold as Life riff, like where it's, you know, just slow and fucking. There's something about that. And that's what
me right now.
Yeah,
that's the key elements for me to really get into something. Is it there's got to be that like really hooky, really catchy fucking good riffs. And I'm a fucking sucker for a good two-step riff, dude. I fucking hear that. My fucking big ass
you like the fucking tuba beat and everything. Like you like that.
Well, that's the fucking core of my favorite fucking music, baby. Porn grind is life. So if you got a good tuba going, I'm fucking about it. And that definitely reminds me of it a little bit. But dude, what really sold me the original time I saw this band in one of their music videos, and the bass player was wearing a fucking Ween shirt. I was like,
that's so funny. Dean Ween.
This is fucking it, dude.
What's up, Dean?
Shout out to fucking the Ween fans, baby. Big ups.
Was it Bananas and Below? Right? Is that a Ween?
Right. Dude, I'm so surprised by you every day.
Dude, I'm eclectic, man. I know a little bit of everything. Let's roll that second clip, which I believe has one of those heavy fucking riffs in it.
Yeah, it does. Nice, good chuggy.
Like, this is the shit.
I love that.
Yeah,
this is fucking good.
This is like a Crowbar riff, man. I'm surprised you don't like Crowbar.
It is like a Crowbar riff, actually, now that I'm listening to it.
This is every band
halftime on it.
This is every band I was in until fucking 2008. You always go halftime. Well, no, you do the riff, you do a halftime chug, and then you do a halftime open. So like
just fucking three phases. Really
that's the three phases of a breakdown. If you're not a musician out there, that's how it works. I like this band. I think the music's fucking cool. The production value's cool. When you listen to it in your car, it sounds really good. That's the big test, right? The car test. I definitely like, this is the type of music that I would say I pretty much grew up on. Like when I started going to like, I'm going to say real shows because it's, when you're going to fucking like punk shit that's local and stuff, you're not really seeing the world. But when I started going to things,
intention.
Yeah, when I went to school, like shit at L'Amour's and all that stuff, like this is the stuff that like I would have been fucking pumped to see.
Nice.
But I think people would dig this. The production value on the fucking video is really good too.
All their videos are super funny. They're just, it seems like a really fun band. That's what always sells me too. If it looks like they're having fun, that's the band I want to listen to.
Yeah, and one thing I would say is I would definitely eat at this place where they shot it because it looked really fucking nice. It was like a very interesting building. I don't know why I like noticed that, but hey man, 10 out of 10. I would say I wish more non-mainstream bigger bands would do music videos like this.
Yeah, I wish they would just take it a little less. Just have fun with it. Just be a little fucking goofy, man.
Serious. Like, yeah, it's fine. You're playing fucking metal, man. Hasn't been serious since 1981. You know what I mean? So, Grizz, where can they find this stuff?
You can find Brett on their Bandcamp. You can find it on Spotify, iMusic, all that shit. Is iMusic a thing? Fucking,
I don't even know what the hell that is. iTunes?
Yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah. Is that still a thing? Bro. Is iTunes still around?
Bro, are you kidding me, man? You got a fucking iPhone, dude.
I have no music on this. I just listen to Spotify. But yeah, you can find them on all those fucking platforms and the things you have on your phones that you might use that I don't use. You can find it on YouTube for these videos and shit, dude. There's all kinds of fun stuff. Fucking look up Brat, B-R-A-T.
Yeah, see, I'm surprised. I mean, there's Dubrat. But I was going to say, I'm surprised nobody's used that name before.
Dubrat. That's a little different.
Hey, dude, what can I say? It's, on all that is on Paramount Plus all the time. So I got to, You got Paramount Plus? You a Paramount Plus guy? Do you got all of them? Yeah. You got everything?
Oh, I fucking feel like I do. The only thing I don't have right now is HBO Max.
So besides Shudder, obviously, because that's only horror movies, really. Well, 99% horror movies. What do you think's the best streaming service for horror shit?
Me?
Paid. Yeah.
Oh, for horror movies? For me personally.
What do you find like you watching movies on?
Oh, dude. I mean, honestly, I watch most of the horror stuff that I watch is on Tubi. If I'm using a streaming service to watch fucking a horror movie.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna be honest, I watch fucking Ghost Adventures like almost every fucking day on the Discovery Plus fucking app. So that's the number one for me.
My man. Yeah, it's funny. I always end up watching like fucking random like late 2000s or like 2010s horror movies on Peacock and shit. They always have
they do have a bunch on there.
Yeah, they got a pretty good thing, especially with the fucking the network on there and stuff. There's tons of stuff to watch.
Netflix is pretty bunk in my opinion for horror movies.
Hit or miss. Once in a while they'll have something. I find Netflix is good for watching. They have a lot of like Korean horror movies and shit. And once in a while you'll find
a lot of Korean stuff. Yeah,
you'll find a hidden gem in those. You just gotta kind of give it a chance. Which is some people don't have time to do that. I just put them on when like as background or whatever. And if you think you like it, you go back and start over when you're actually paying attention. That's how I kind of do this shit. But Tubi,
Paramount
I guess,
does not have the best.
Paramount Plus is the fucking worst of
it's pretty bunk, dude, for sure.
Terrible fucking like layout for everything. So hard to find anything. Works like shit. Always disconnecting.
Oh my god, you ever use fucking Apple TV? That's even fucking worse.
No, I've never used that. Yeah,
fucking horrible.
Hey man, can't beat good old DVD, Blu-ray, VHS.
Right.
I don't even know what. Yeah, even though I have been buying a lot of DVDs and shit lately, I feel like.
What's wrong with that?
Well, the thing is that I buy a lot of shit that's not in English, not just Japanese, but just other stuff that's not in English. So it's nice to have the original tape and everything to use for mixtapes or whatnot. But
better to understand the movie too if you could fucking read it.
Yeah, and a lot of that shit is, you could buy the DVDs for under fucking $10. They're super cheap. So you just buy a DVD copy of it just so you have it also. That's a pro tip for anybody that's into foreign movies or whatnot. Yeah, just a pro tip. So Grizz, I think that just about wraps it up for this week. Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video, and you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@badtastevideo podcast. We really appreciate it. Go back, watch our previous live recordings, events, whatever the fuck you want to say. Just in time on lunch. Cheers from Anthony Martinez. Dude, unfortunately, we are wrapping it up, but you could go back and watch it immediately because
we appreciate it.
Yeah,
everybody in the chat tonight, though. There's a ton of you guys here tonight. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys are
appreciate
great.
You joining in at 9 with our live shows on Tuesday. You guys make it a lot of fun for us to do this. So
yeah, man, I'm fucking loving it. Next week with Biotherapy is probably one of my favorite sci-fi horror / Japanese horror movies of all time. It's fucking awesome. You'll see why. It's like it's just very unique. But we got another one at the end of the month that you're going to fucking probably be like, what the fuck? How have I never watched or heard of this one? That's going to be another fun one. But Grizz, Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube page. We have a Patreon if you want to donate some money to us. We have some things up there. We could, most of this stuff you can actually find online, funny enough.
Yeah.
Sure. Unless it's a Toho, unless it's owned by Toho, you can pretty much find it. Everything else, no good. But
Mr. Meese, go watch this movie, brother. I know if anybody here is gonna love it, it's definitely gonna be you, man. Fucking check this one out.
Yeah, go watch fucking All Night Long. There is a copy on YouTube. There is a version on there. It looks like shit, but go to the Internet Archive or just go. I don't know. Is there a Blu-ray DVD? I don't know. Go buy it. But
there's a DVD.
There is. There is. I'm gonna go fucking buy that too. Then actually, but Grizz. I think that's it. I think they've heard us enough. I think they've seen us enough. And I think it's time they go watch All Night Long, preferably the second and third one also, and then get back to us to,
take you all night long. It's perfect. Just come back tomorrow and let me know what you thought.
Yeah, let us know what you think. But thank you for coming. We will see you next week with Biotherapy and a garden without birds. Fuck yeah. See ya.